Did you see Chris Clemens tested positive for COVID? I did. I saw his video and I texted him. The whole thing's a bummer. The whole thing sucks. And it sucks to watch being a friend of his, but also just like being a viewer on the internet. I can't think of another YouTuber, streamer, influencer, whatever you want to call him, who he's an incredible ally, right? Like he's always very outspoken and he uses his platform for good. But in addition to that, he's been a really good example, I feel like, of just how to act as a person, but also a person with a following during this pandemic. He's been very responsible. He's been very, straightforward about what he's doing. He advocates wearing a mask like everyone should. He praises businesses and people who are doing things right, even though it's hard. And, he calls people out who are doing things irresponsibly and setting a bad example. And listen, like it is possible that he might find like the next test might be negative. It might have been a false positive. Like that's possible. Yeah, it's difficult to watch because he's being really hard on himself and he shouldn't. I think if anything, it's just sort of a bit of a reminder that it can slip through and like, the smallest little cross-contamination of germs in whatever way, takeout food, picking something up from the grocery store. I mean, things that everyone has to do and expose you. Yeah, it was hard to watch that. Yeah, it was definitely hard to watch that because he's taken it incredibly seriously. Like I said, he's been a really good example as an influencer. And that's one of the hardest things about being a person online where your life is just out there because you share your life and that's your job. And then when things happen that you wish aren't happening or are bad things, like you can't just omit that part. You have to, like when you're an influencer, your whole life is on display, not just the good things. You have to, and that sucks, I just hate how hard he's being on himself. I don't think he should be embarrassed. It's just tough. It's tough. Just wear a fucking mask. Please, everybody wear a mask. There's no excuse. There is. What's the excuse to not wear a mask? I'm just curious. What's the excuse? Also, what's the deal? What's the deal when people wear a mask? One of the things that I feel, I mean, obviously when people wear it below the nose, that's stupid. And they wear it on their chin, that's stupid. But what's the deal with people who have masks on? And this doesn't happen like to me directly, but I've seen it in public where people have their masks on and then they go to talk to someone and they're like, they pull down their mask and they're like, what's up? Why are you even wearing it? What is that? What is that whole thing? That's so aggressive. It's very silly. Very silly. I don't talk about this stuff a lot, but it's just starting to get to a point where, I don't know. It's just like, I go for walks and I see people without masks every single day and it just sucks. And it's like, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Like people not wearing masks are everywhere. And I don't know why. It confuses me. Anyway, I didn't mean to start the stream off on like a downer there, but I did want to, send my love to Chris. And like, I know a lot of you guys are fans of his, and if you support him and watch his stuff, it's just hard to watch someone that you care about and enjoy watching be so hard on themselves and have unfortunate things like that happen. But it is what it is. It's fucking scary to see a person like Chris Clemens get a positive test because like he's been like a good reference point of like being careful and responsible. And he's been really careful and responsible and he got it. Scares me, man. I don't know. It's fucking scary. I have asthma and I still wear a mask. Hannah, me too. I have serious asthma. I take an inhaler every single day. I carry a puffer with me everywhere I go. Had it since I was a kid. I've worked out in masks. I should say there's no reason not to wear a mask. There's excuses not to wear a mask, but there's no actual reasons because a reason implies that there's logic involved. An excuse doesn't imply that same thing, so people can come up with stupid excuses. So yeah, there's excuses that you can have not to wear masks, but there's no reasons. Another confusing thing for me is on my walks. I walk at a park with my dogs. We walk, Jen and I take the dogs, and there's obviously you have your everyday like runners and walkers who don't wear masks, whatever. But one of the weirdest sights for me, this is like almost like more regular than seeing adults, is like groups of adults with their groups of kids together. And there's no masks, not on the kids, not on the adults. It sort of just feels like the Twilight Zone. It's like I'm missing something. They know something I don't. Where are the masks on these kids that you obviously are not all in the same household? There's like 5 kids here and there's 5 moms. I see 5 strollers, maybe even not strollers. They're probably like older. They're like, 7, 8, 9 years old. It's confusing. It makes me feel crazy. It makes me feel crazy when someone walks into Walmart with their masks on, goes past the check, and then takes it off. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the harder things about COVID is that it's invisible. So people don't have whatever you want to call it within their brains to envision the severity of a disease, of a virus that's everywhere, because they can't see it, you know? Invisible until you fucking die. Or until you cause other people to get sick and die. There's so many angles to how insufferable people are being about this. So many different angles. One of which is like, you feel fine. You're like, I feel fine. And I'm young. If I get it, I get it. I'm not going to wear a mask. What if you have it? Do you not know that it can be completely... You could be completely asymptomatic. You can feel fine as you've ever felt, but you be carrying the virus and you give it to someone who's not going to be fine. It's selfish. It's frustrating. And it's everywhere, dude. It's everywhere. California just got curfew. Did they? We should have gotten an emergency alert, no? I wouldn't be surprised. It's this feels like March all over again. It really does. It feels like the earlier in the year when things were really starting to get bad and you're like, all right, you mentally and otherwise hunker down because shit's about to hit the fan, and it's happening again. And I have a really, really bad feeling about the holidays. I'm like scared because people have proven time and time again that they're unwilling to compromise or give up things that are part of their everyday life and their routines and whatnot, even in the face of a deadly virus that's going around the globe. So like the holidays are going to be just like a juiced up version of that. Like, oh, we don't want to change our lifestyle. Okay, well, we're definitely not changing our holiday plans. All right, I guess you're going to go have your holiday. We can't stop you. I can't stop people from going to have their Christmas with a group of people or Thanksgiving. Like that's going to happen if it's going to happen. That's why I'm scared. It's just like a gnarly thing that's going to happen no matter if we wanted to or not. That's a really tough situation. And it's even tougher to make the right decision of not seeing your family, but that's miserable, dude. Not seeing your family for the holidays or for extended amounts of time that you've never gone without seeing your family. That's fucking miserable. It sucks. It's horrible. But it's the only responsible choice right now. Also, to everyone out there who has family members, parents, relatives, whatever, who are refusing to follow reason and listen to science, I just want you to know that you're not crazy, and it sucks because that's a complicated situation that so many people are going through right now, having to reason with unreasonable family members or friends because they don't want to listen. Just know that, you know, you're doing the right thing no matter how many times it makes you feel like you're not, or you feel crazy or whatever. I don't know. It's tough, but I empathize with all of you. And I know for a fact that you guys, there's at least a handful of y'all going through similar situations like that. So just got to game the time away. That's it, Chris. That's all we're doing.